In this video, I'll show you how to display data from a PostgreSQL database in a Dixa conversation. And we'll do this by using a tool called FactBranch and creating a custom card in Dixa. And the custom card will display right here and load additional information from our database. So first thing we want to do is head to factbranch.com and create an account. You'll get a 14-day free trial and don't have to enter a credit card. And the first screen you'll see after registering is the flow creator. And we will want to create a show data in a Dixa custom card flow. So flows or data pipelines in FactBranch work like this. They are triggered by something, in this case, a custom card in Dixa, and then they work through nodes. And the last node is a UI generation node that displays the data. And before that, we will have to load data from our database. And to do that, we'll have to create a node. So I'm selecting PostgreSQL here. And now I've created a PostgreSQL node that can run a Postgres query. But before we can do that, we'll have to connect to our database. So I'm going to do that now. Here's where you enter your PostgreSQL credentials. I'm just entering credentials for a simple test database. If your database lives behind a firewall, you'll probably have to use a static IP to query your database and then allow access from this IP you'll see here in your firewall. In our case, we don't have to do that, so I'm trying to connect. And if it works, you'll just get forwarded back to your PostgreSQL node. And you can see it's automatically selected PostgreSQL as our data source. Here on the right, you'll see the input data we get from Dixa. Those are just test data for now, and we can edit that later. You'll see why. Just gonna create a simple select all from our customer database table, where the email address matches the customer email. I'm gonna copy the variable. And what this variable starting with the $sign does is it gets replaced in the query that's run. So whenever the query is run, it'll use the data it'll get from the custom card from your Dixa conversation and replace it in your query. So this takes the custom email address from the trigger. And when I hit run, it works, but we don't get any results yet. And that's because we don't have a test@example.com email address in our database. We can use something like Alice. So that's how you edit the input data here. And if I run it again, I'll get one result for Alice. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the data pipeline to just explain what it does. It gets triggered by when a user opens a Dixa conversation and the custom card gets loaded. We're going to create the custom card in Dixa in a moment. Then it runs your query in the PostgreSQL node. Then it takes that data and renders the UI. So that's what we're going to config now. Go to edit. You'll see the data from your query here. And a nice feature of FactBranch is that it can take the data it gets here and by itself generate a UI. And this just generates a very simple HTML UI that you can then use in a custom card. And if you want to edit something, for example, say it's only address, you can edit it right inside the HTML template, and it'll update here. Good. Let's head over to Dixa and create the custom card. If you go into the trigger config in FactBranch, you'll see a little guide showing you what to do in Dixa. So in this case, we have to go to Settings, Integrations, and create a new custom card. Just gonna name it FactBranch. We'll copy paste a few values. We'll start with the hook URL. Use get as the method, paste the hook URL. Then we're going to use the authorization header, bearer token, copy the token. This token tells FactBranch which data pipeline to run. And the final step is to copy paste the template token. I'm going to do this here. This template content actually in the end renders the display inside the custom card. Okay, once you've done that, hit save. And if we go to the conversation, you see FactBranch custom card loads data from your database and displays it in your Dixa conversation. So head over to factbranch.com and start your 14-day free trial today. If you have any questions, just email support@factbranch.com or visit our docs at factbranch.com/docs.